Hey, Wakusa, what's going on? It's your Ndugu, Shaka Jajaga Shakur, aka M. Casa the Bush Doctor, coming back at you with another episode of African Talk, where Africans talk worldwide. And yo, as always, I hope you're good. I hope your family is good. And we pray to the Creator and the ancestors to lead our words in the right and not the wrong. So let's get at it. All right. Before I start this, I want to do it a certain way. In here, I got my little couple of, bay leaves, right? And these leaves are used for medicinal, tea, etc. But spiritually, they help promote good luck, good intention, chase away bad vibes. So let's just light this and put our intentions out to the universe. Let's try something different today. All right, here we go. Just think about your ancestors. Think about somebody you love. You know what I mean? And our people in general as this burns. Let it burn away all the negativity. All right? Got it in our tin cup. Got to be safe. It'll smell real good too. All right, well, that's simmering over there, and the incense and smoke is going on around. We're going to get into this, like I said. So, without further ado, the next episode. Yeah, okay, family. We back. And of course, y'all want to send a shout out to all the people that have been supporting, and we're growing slowly but surely, you know. And I'm just glad, man. I'm glad to be here to be able to talk this truth, man, because it's been inside me for a while and I want to get it out. But before I get it out, I put some water in it. Don't come at me about my water either. Y'all have anybody knows me know it took a while for me to even drink water like this. I was just not with water. Anyway, today's episode is called "The Power of Words." There's a phrase you probably heard it in cartoons and TV. When you watch Aladdin, "Open sesame," right? Well, really, that's "open sesame," meaning that I open the pathway to what I desire with my words, because thoughts in the physical are words, right? And when you write something down, those symbols, we call it alphabet. Well, those symbols are sigils. And each sigil is a mathematical equation in this form of a shape, you know? It's like for you Marvel heads out there, Doctor Strange, right? When they do the ring thing, and you see all those different little shapes, those, some call it veves, some call it hieroglyphs. Those are symbols constructed together to move frequency in a certain manner to create a certain opening. That's why when they do that, you see the portal open and all that, and I don't mean you gonna see some ring in the sky, but what I mean is that you birth through the canal of thought, through word, reality. So think about how long our oppressors have used this science to hold us down, because everything gets weaponized. Don't sleep. Every science has been weaponized against you and is weaponized against us, even to the weather. These weird storms, we'll get into that later. These things that we push past, just like that "open sesame" to "open sesame," everything about us has been clowned and dumbed down and given to us in a negative so that we'll stay away from it, while those in power harness it and use it for their betterment against us, to our detriment. So words are power. Because a word, a simple word, is a thought, and thought has no physical form. You can't touch it, right? Right? It's out there in the cosmos, just moving around, particles, loose particles. You're an antenna. You bring those particles together. You tune it in to your thought, and then that thought goes through your universe, which is your body, and finds its way out through your vocal cord, through this chakra right here. This is the important chakra, and it comes out to the world, right? So that throat chakra brings forth vibration, and that vibration becomes reality. If somebody tell you ain't shit long enough, you'll believe it. If somebody tell you you're the greatest thing ever, you'll believe it. If someone tells you you can't do it, you'll believe it. You know what I mean? You see where I'm going with this? It's as a man thinketh, so is he, right? But the reason the man that thinketh becomes what he thinks is because he says it. That's why they say a verbal declaration is the most powerful declaration in the universe. Every scripture. I mean, I've read Buddhism, Tao, Zen, Confucianism. I practice Sufism. I've been all around. Christian. I grew as a kid in the Catholic Church and the Baptist churches and all that. Years in the Sunni Islam. I've been around Rastafari, all these things. And what I kept seeing on my quest is each group, even now with African spirituality, hoodoo, etc. Each group has a certain thought center where they focus on language. Call it spells, right? And of course, hocus pocus. No, spells are real. It's I cast a spell on you. That's energy, right? And you receive it, and it works. I'm the greatest, right? Muhammad Ali. I'm the greatest. We didn't know if he was the greatest. He didn't even know if he was the greatest, but he put it out there so much and so much conviction that you believed it, and it worked. The Constitution of the United States of America is a piece of paper with a bunch of letters on it. Those letters are sigils, shapes. And those shapes together bring about a reaction, a reality. And that reality told you, right, that you had freedom, justice, equality, pursuit of happiness, blah, 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 blah. And they're only powerful because we believe in it. The minute people don't believe in it anymore, it has no power. It's just paper. So you have a person in office who does not believe in it. And all of his little cronies, they don't believe in it either. And you see day in and day out all the people who violate it every day because they don't believe it has no power. It is a spell concocted to keep you and me in control. We believe in it. But the people that conjured it, and I'm using the right words, don't believe in it. They understood the power of it and how it can hold you back. I told somebody the other day, people don't, not commit murder because of some written law. People don't commit murder because it's not natural to just kill for no reason, unless something's wrong with you. Only a psychopath kills for no reason. Now, there are groups of people who have been cursed, as my man says on internet, with the lineage of evil, right? The amazing Lucas says the lineage of evil, and I love that. And I'm gonna use it. So if you get it to him, tell him I said big ups. You know what I mean? But these people, they don't follow any laws of the universe, and they move in a certain manner. And I really wanted to look at that because of like black folks. I'm online, right? And I'm listening to this, these discussions back and forth about FBA and I'm African, I'm not African, we're African Americans, we're not African Americans, and all this other stuff, right? And when I'm looking at it, I'm not really looking at what's being said anymore. I'm looking at the energy around what's being said and how that energy through form of word is bringing in this reality of hate between us. That's more deeper than a classification. People are saying, we're delineating away from. Okay, so you're saying you're not that, right? Everybody does it all day. I'm a truck driver. Are you a truck driver? You probably say, no, I'm not a truck driver. I'm a doctor, or I work in a warehouse, or whatever, right? That's just clear lines of demarcation. We know that you're not this and you are that. No love loss, no energy, no nothing. But when we throw it out there, and here we go. Now, this is the part a lot of you're gonna really like, ain't gonna like rather. When we throw it out there with that lower vibration language behind it. And it's, I always say excuse me for profanity, but sometimes I gotta use it to get a point across. But before I do that, I'm picking up this little computer here. Hold on one second. Because I don't like to talk out the side of my face, right? Because somebody will use it against you. Okay. I'm looking up the word vulgarity, right? Okay, and let's find a definition. All right. The definition of vulgarity means vulgarity is the quality of being rude, coarse, or lacking good taste, or in general, a lack of politeness. It can include obscenities and profanities, but also behavior in the boorish, not Moorish, boorish, disrespectful, and tasteless. The word can also be used to describe something vulgar, like a vulgar expression or act. Now, the key things you got to take away: vulgarity is tastelessness, crudeness, offensive language, disrespectful behavior. Okay? Now, it comes from the Latin word vulgaritas, meaning commonness or the public, and originally referred to what was ordinary or common, but now carries the connotation of being low class or coarse. Now, people will say, well, see, it's all right to be a little vulgarity. It keeps us with the people, with the common bullshit. Okay? Bullshit. When you say what you say and you throw that motherfucker in there or nigga and all these other things in there, right? Automatically you drop the vibration of what you just said. Like it or not, I'm not here to argue about it. It doesn't matter if you agree, it's the reality. When you call women bitches, pardon my language, this is what it is. When you call women the B word, you drop the vibration. When you call a black man nigga, it's not a word of any kind of endearment. None of it. It's vulgarity. It's lower vibrational language, and words have power. Now, some people have tried to justify it, take it back here, take it back there, take it over there, back to Niger River and all. No, negus, negus. No. The two have nothing to do with each other. Let's just stop that. We have been poisoned with this spell of lower level thinking of ourselves. And it affects all of us, yours truly included, all of us. I don't care how much Shaka knows, how much I've read, and all, as long as I entertain those negative energies, it's like drugs. You can be dragged right back down to your lowest state of existence. And I bear witness to that. If you got people around you who move in that lower vibration, it's in you too. Eventually it's going to reap you. You're going to reap it. You're going to move with it. You're going to go that way because of those words. They have been set in our head. And you, so much is in us now. So it's like a trigger. And that concerns me. When we are talking and we're supposed to be having an intellectual discussion, and there's nothing wrong with being intellectual. It's not corny. It's not this. It's not, you ain't square and all that other foolishness. Intellectualness, like spirituality, like discipline, morale, all those things are good things. And when we don't have it, we fall off. I don't care who you are. So when we moving with that and you talking to me and you telling me something that's good for my soul, but then you got to wrap it in that negative ending. It might not mean nothing to you, and it sounds sexy. You might get a lot of viewers online if you do that. You might look and your subscriptions will be in the tens of thousands, and you got fame now. You floating on the red carpet and all that other status nonsense. But in actuality, you're getting rewarded for continuing the poison. It's like the MC, the artist who's paid to spit death and destruction. That you're being paid to weave spells of death and destruction on our people. It's the same when you got the filmmaker who uses lower vibration to come up. It's like drug dealing. It's the same thing. The drug is different. It's not a physical drug. Now it's a spiritual and mental drug. It's the drug of white supremacy. And our words are being used to keep that energy alive. Those vampires are living through the energy created by those words or those written sigils. And we have to change it. We have to stop it. We can't support it no more. You can't ignore it. You can't be okay with it. It's not okay. I'm telling you, true story. There was a time not long ago, a couple of years ago, man, I was lost in the sauce. Why? Because I was moving in a low vibration. Everything around me and everybody around me was in that same vibratory low state, giving excuses for the N-word, giving excuses for cursing and all that other stuff. And I got dragged back. I tried to pull myself out, but I wasn't that far removed from it. I was like Pookie in the crack house. I was 2 days off the corner. You know what I mean? And I look back now, my biggest regret, or my biggest, mistake, because I don't regret too much of nothing. My biggest mistake or error was that I continued to float out of friendship, out of commonality or familiarity with people who were here, when I should have been moving with people who are here, or who are at least striving for there. When I talk to people and I say, Look, man, I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say because I ain't gonna be controlled. Nobody gonna tell me what to do. That's your ego. That's your ego defending the feel good, the sense of power that you think you have from those words. They don't have no power. They're false. Those words are jinn. Those words are evil, demonic sins. They're like evil little demons. And a demon is a word. Demon is thought. Those are evil demons, and they breathe into you so bad. There's a bug. I don't remember the name of the bug, but this little bug can get into like a bigger insect, like a bee. It gets in the bee, and it burrows into the bee. It's a little like a tick almost. It burrows into the bee, and it controls the will of. It feeds off the bee and controls its will by controlling the little, tendons and all that. And the bee will fly, and it will go and reap honey and do everything it normally does because that little insect is controlling it from the inside. And that little insect for us is the energy produced by all these negative connotations. And we just got to call it for what it is, man. We can't continue, and this ain't no religious rap. This ain't even about morals, none of that. This ain't even a morality discussion. This is simple, direct spiritual science. Our people are destroying ourselves because we're drinking the same tea as the enemy. We're eating the same food as the enemy. And I don't mean little on your plate, I mean in your mind. Every time you call yourself an N-word, right? I used it, I'm going to keep using it through our show because I'm not giving it no life. So every time you call yourself the N-word, you invoke all of those slave drivers. You invoke all of those racist entities that have persecuted and then destroyed our people throughout the years. You invoke their spirit. You invoke the spirit of the ones who put us to the tree, the ones who put us in ships, the ones who were taking our lives before we even got to the ships. You invoke the spirit of J. Edgar Hoover. You invoke the spirit of COINTELPRO. Every time you use those words, every time you talk to your brothers and sisters with that hateful energy and those hateful words, you're invoking the spirit of the ones who want us to fail. So it's not enough to just be like talk love into your people. No. It's common sense, man. We're trying to win, and we can't win if we're not right. What did Lawrence say? How you trying to win when you ain't right within? And I've heard that so much coming up, but it was always from a pretext of religion, so it didn't stick. It didn't stick with me, so I was 1 foot in, 1 foot out. 1 foot in the movement, 1 foot in the streets. 1 foot trying to get better, 1 foot over here. There's an old saying, 1 foot in the grave, 2 foot's a fool. Next step for fools. You know what I mean? And nobody want to call it. Nobody want to call it for what it is. I'm gonna call it for what it is. It's an addiction. It's a hold, man. I was looking at a video on alcohol, right? Because recently I stopped drinking. Anything. I cut the hard liquor a minute ago. And let me give you a story. I was going through some hard times, right? I would come home from truck driving or whatever, and I would go to a bar. And I would sit at the bar. And at first I would just get something to eat. I just didn't want to go home. So I would get something to eat, chill out, whatever. That led to me drinking a beer, about yay high. And then, of course, the bartender was like, "Oh, you want this?" So you get big ass jug, right? So I poured the mug cold beer, drink, oh, this is great. I like this, right? I'm taking in that alcohol, the alcohol, those evil spirits, and they started getting at me, latching on to me, making me feel good, making me feel better. You know what I mean? So I thought. And then pretty soon that one glass, I used to come home for 4 days at a time. So 1 glass for 4 days, I'm good. But then it became 2 glasses in 4 days. Then that evil demon inside me started coming out my mouth. I started talking and saying things to people around me. I casted the spell. I even turned some people. Oh, just take a drink. It ain't nothing. Yeah, go ahead, take a drink, man. Come on, let's drink. Now I'm dragging more people in with my words. I'm weaving spells with my words. I'm helping my enemy. See, I got a shit to do, pardon language, with religion. This is real. This is just real metaphysical stuff. And anyway, that glass, I realized that one big glass was 2 bottles. I used to drink Modelo. So it was 2 bottles of Modelo per glass. And I did the math. Well, that did the math. That demon did the math. And then that demon hit me because I'm a logical dude, right? So the demon was like, yo, Shaka, man, you spending $10 on 2 bottles. I'm just saying a six pack is only $10, $7, $8. Makes more sense. You can go to the store and get a jug like that for $1, and then that's your jug. You don't have to worry about paying for every glass. You got a freezer at home. Bing. Now I'm at home with it, six packs in a glass. I'm sitting in the back knocking it out. Boom. Right? Having relationship problems, and the things I was pulling myself away from, behaviors that I was pulling myself away from, I slowly started sliding back into. Full speed now. Now I'm knocking out six packs, and every other day I got another six pack. That 6 went to 12, 12 went to 24, and pretty soon that went straight to hard liquor, back to the hard liquor. Now I'm shooting shots, and I'm just getting all sorts of nonsense. And it's all becoming because of words. Words said to me to seduce me, words I seduce myself with, words that I did talk to other people and convince them to do things, words. And those words get backed up with physical allies, alcohol, a little weed here and there. I know a lot of y'all smoke weed, and y'all like, man, ain't nothing but a little weed, man. No, bro. You're not in no spiritual ceremony. That weed, just like early alcohol was only for ceremonial purposes, and it wasn't even liquor like you know now. It was a black, like a powder that was applied next to the eye that, opened up the portal in the mind, and you had a shaman or a cleric there who knew what they were doing to get you through without any damage. But then we started treating it like recreation. Same thing with the herb. Cannabis is not the only herb used to get you to a higher state of consciousness. There are plenty of them used, right? Plenty of them. That's the most famous one. But even then, in India, where it started, it was used as a gateway for a higher conscience. That's what it was used for. We don't use it for that anymore. Now we just recklessly with it because TV, music has promoted it with words to draw us over there. Now think about this. All right. I did a paper when I was in college, right? And it's called Defensive Language, the Power of Words. So now you're on a bus and you hear a mother cursing her child out. Oh, you little dirty so-and-so, you get up my nerves, you little blah, 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 blah. You know the words, right? And you're like, wow, why would you talk to your children like that? But take it back to that period many of you don't want to admit happened, slavery, right? In that period of time, white men didn't just go and violate black women forcibly. They seduced them. A lot of times they seduced them with love, the promise of love. But there were black women who were like, I'm not doing that. You're not going to get me caught up. No. So the white man said, okay, well, I'll take your child then. I'll sell your child. It worked for a while. Then some black women got resourceful and were like, no, we're not going to go for that either. So what did they started doing? These black women, most of the time were suckling white babies. It's real. And their child was off to the side. So their child will come over looking for the love from the mother. It's natural. And the mother, wanting to love her child, would look over and see the white man looking. And he's watching to see how she treats that child. And she knows that child is going to be weaponized. So what does she do? She, get out of here, you little black, blah, 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 you little ugly so-and-so, blah, blah. So the kid runs off crying. The white man looks like, well, that ain't going to work. So he leaves her alone. She runs over to her child on the quiet, on the low, and says, look, the things that mommy said earlier, mommy didn't mean that. But they knew their reality. So the child understood that people get sold off and all that. So she broke it down like, look, if I don't talk to you like that, then they might sell you. They might try to break us up. So we're going to play this game, and the game is called Tar Baby. That's where that term came from. And if I call you this, you run over that tree and act like you crying. Okay, mom. It became a game. So she would talk really harsh to the child to convince the plantation owner, because I don't like slave master, the plantation owner to ease up off of her. Same thing from black man to woman. I couldn't tell you, I love that woman, I want to be with that woman, all they crazy. That's a weapon now. So I had to degrade her. I had to defame her, defile her. You know what I mean? I had to do it because I had to make the plantation owner believe, that white man believe, that I had no attachment to her. And she to me, same thing. It was all done out of survival for 100, 200, 300, 400 years. Now I was incarcerated 4 years. 4 years is usually what they call the breaking point. You can break something in 4 years and make something new. That's why the Army wants you for mandatory 4, college usually 4, because there's a science behind that, right? And we who know math know that 4 equals culture, and culture is freedom. So in the enemy's eyes, it is the same math. They know that they can bring you into a new culture, way of life within the number for 4 years, 4 days, right? You ever notice you go to a job orientation, it's 4 days, and they usually give you the last day. Y'all can go home. Come back next Monday. 4 to 8 days, 4 to 8 weeks, 4 to 8 years. I was a first-time offender, 4 to 12. Most of the dudes around me have 4 years. We were first-time offenders, 4 years. So anyway, I digress. All that to say that from these behaviors, certain words are trigger words now. But these words now we're talking to each other, and it ain't for survival. We're talking to each other this way because we think it's normal. And now we are the slave master, the real slave master. We are the plantation owner right now, and we are enslaving ourselves. So we have to liberate ourselves. And it means you got to look at yourself. You got to look at things you used to do, not in a sense to beat yourself down, no, but to look at those flaws and make those flaws your greatness. You know what I mean? And in Japan, there's a phrase, I think it's wasi-sabi. I might be pronouncing it right. Please correct me. Wasi-sabi. And most of the time you see those Zen gardens and stuff, but what it really goes to is to this fine practice of understanding the flaws in life and what really comes out of those flaws. There's a beauty that comes out of those flaws, but you have to know that. You have to know that beauty. You know what I mean? So, like in Japan, and I hope I'm saying the right word to describe it, but here's the practice. In Japan, they take broken things like a broken dish, and they put the dish back together. But they don't use clear glue. They're not trying to hide the mistakes, the cracks in the glass. They want to highlight it, so they use gold and things that'll stand out, and they put the glass back together, or the vase, whatever it is, and you see the cracks very, very prominent now, because that's the beauty in the whole thing. It's not the cup, it's the cracks. The cracks are what make the cup beautiful. So our flaws in life are what give us strength, or what make us beautiful. That's why I say don't regret, just go study. Study the crack and figure out what the message is in it. So what the message is in our crack as a people is the behaviors that we exhibit amongst ourselves are not because you're bad people. It's because we have been under a spell. Words have been given to us to keep us under a spell. And we have now come to the point where we are the generators of that spell. We're the conjurers of that spell on ourselves, and we can reverse it. But you got to be real with yourself. You got to say it's worth reversing, and then you got to reverse it, family. You got to say what's right. You got to do what's right. And people are going to talk about you. Right now I'm going through a fast, man. I stopped eating meat and all that. That's personal. They ain't got nothing to do with it, but it helps. But I mean, my fast is I fast from all that material BS. And I mean, I ain't talking about just clothes and all that. I'm talking about all the material, right? Material thinking. When I say material, benefiting or putting benefit and putting status or putting any kind of trust in the stuff around us, including people. You got to love yourself. Find your own Nia. Nia means purpose. Find your own Nia. And then speak to that Nia. Speak life to it. But you can't speak to your Nia calling yourself an N or a B, or calling our young ones YNs, young N words, or, hot girl summer, and all these funny little phrases we got, thought and all that over there. No, that's the spell. Those are dangerous words. When you talk about your cousins across the sea, they're not immigrants. They're Africans. When you talk about the people in the Caribbean, they're not immigrants. They're Africans in the Caribbean. And when they talk about you, you're not an immigrant. You're an African in America. But we keep, every time we feed into that, you see how deeper and deeper the hate gets? I was talking to somebody on the line the other day, because I said it, if you dealing with any separation, I don't want nothing to do with you. I'm clear. I separate myself from anything toxic. I don't want nothing to do with it. So one cat got mad, you know, and told me I was a divider because I don't even, because you're divisive. I'm not divisive. I'm dismissive. Hell yeah, I dismiss myself from any of that nonsense, right? And then when this cat kept on and kept on and kept on, and not just me, other people getting online checking him, you know. Now this cat I known for a while, young dude, but he turned to me, turned on me rather. Yeah, Shaka, you ain't real. Da, 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 da. I mean, just went in, you know, and then went in online, and I slipped into it like fighting back. I had to catch myself, like, whoa, 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 slow down, Shaka. He ain't even worth it. See how that works? That fast, it almost took me there. Them negative words. I ain't above being tripped up. That's why I stay away. Because I almost got tripped up and got into a back and forth with this dude when I know clearly he's not in the right position, or mind state, or spirit. But it's that easy to get tripped. Don't think you are invulnerable or impenetrable. You can get it. Anybody can get it messing around with this. This is real. This energy is real. Don't play with it. And we're not going to change our situation until we change our words, because words are linked to thought. We have got to speak up. It's okay to be a god. It's okay to be a goddess. It's okay to be a king. It's okay to be a queen. Speak up. Speak any words you want to choose in any language that equals a higher state of being. By all means, choose it. Go with it. It's all right. Go with it. You know, speak up to each other. Brothers, stop using the N word when you describe each other. That's why we look at each other so mean now. Right? We went from God to what up, dog? And then that's my N word. Them N words over there. We got all the derogatory terms. That creates that energy. And that's why when you see me, you mean mugging. We think taking pictures like this is cool. That look like you deformed as hell. We think that's cool. This is how you pull the pose. All that. Nah, man. Our women do it too. Stop it. As long as we keep talking like that, we're going to keep acting like that, and we can keep bringing it into reality. We are our own worst enemy. And people say, "Don't say that about us, Shaka." I have to, because we do more damage in the sense that we are closest to one another. See, the European can say the same derogatory stuff. You'll get mad, but you can brush that off. But when I say it, it drops deeper because we're the same. It breaks my heart to see us fighting like this across boundaries. And the only person winning is white supremacy. Nobody else is winning. The only person that wins off of all this talk is white supremacy, the white man. Period. Religious fighting and all that fighting. These things have been introduced. We had harmony. Now, I'm not saying Africa was no utopia. It had wars, of course they did. But you will notice, and if you don't believe me, look at the books, check it. Look at the history of warfare in Africa. And what you will see is warfare has always been there, but it wasn't as often and as prominent until the introduction of the European. And at that point, warfare became more often and more brutal. You don't believe me? Go do the reading for yourself. I did it. Might take you a couple of years. You'll come to that conclusion. And I'm sure that warfare is not just because of, some trinkets like they show on TV. It's because of conjuring words that equal a certain reality and cause a certain reality. Cause and effect. So I'm not going to beat this down long. I'm way past the time. You know what I mean? I hope I didn't ramble too much, and I hope you got what I'm trying to say. But at the end of the day, man, I'm going to stay on it like this. Because I believe in the process of Wukusu. Wake up, clean up, stand up. Right? And I study a lot of Eastern culture. In Japan, there's a thing called Shu Hari. Shu means to learn, or the art of exact copy and repetition. So in the Shu, right, we call it the wake up stage, the Shu, that's when you stop imitating the negative. Stop imitating these images they throw in front of us. Stop following behind that negative image. Find you something positive and imitate it. Find someone who's doing it right and imitate that person. And first of all, in imitating something, You're admitting that you don't know it all. It's okay. Empty yourself. Be a baby. Imitate a good example. Pick one. Imitate it to the fullest. And then you're going to introduce the ha into your life, or the break. Now, shoot, learn. Ha means to break. And breaking is the introduction of opposing variance in form. So you're imitating this person doing good this way. Like maybe they do good by just keeping themselves away, and not being involved, separating. That got you so far. Now you got to learn how to involve and still be positive so you can flux back and forth. See? And then the re, which means to transcend. A moment when the mind is no longer in control of movements and they become like natural. You're just doing it now. You don't need any of that other stuff. So the shuhari, right, is like knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Knowledge, shu, you're imitating, you're building a foundation, knowledge. Ha, you're breaking it by introducing other things, new things. Wisdom is how you can do that. Once you got knowledge and you start speaking that wisdom, you're going to meet people that's different with different opinions, and and that's how you're shooting it back and forth. You're starting to learn the flow now. And then when you get a total understanding, you get that understanding, man, look, you transcend now. Now you just get up in the morning, you're doing it. You don't even know why. It's just happening. The same thing, I read a story one time. This guy wanted to lose weight. And he, because his family, he's a hard worker, but he gained all this weight. He was all out of shape and he felt real bad. He couldn't play with his kids and he just felt real bad. So his friend took him to a doctor. And the doctor was a Japanese man. When he got in the office, wasn't nothing in the office but two chairs on the table. And he told the doctor, man, I want to get myself right. I feel my life slipping away, my kids, I can't, And the doctor said, all right, when you get up in the morning, drink a glass of water. 14 days, call me back. All right. 14 days later, he said, well, I don't drink the water. What now? He said, now go outside and take a walk to your mailbox. Dude was like, yo, my mailbox is right there. He said, I know, just go walk to it. 14 more days. So he did that. And then he came back like, what do I do now? He said, do both for 14 more days now. So he did. He came back again. But see, something happened in them last 14 days because his daughter, who he hardly played with, watched him walking. She said, Dad, where you going? He said, I got to go for this walk. Can I come? Sure. So they would walk together. It's supposed to be to the mailbox. Now they walk into the store. And they're talking and he's building this relationship. And, so now it's at the point where he's getting up and he just go get that cup of water. What the doctor was doing was teaching him a positive routine. He was giving him, saying, look, what you're doing ain't working. So I need you to shoot. I need you to imitate this routine. Blindly, just do it. And then pretty soon, he broke it up. He's going a little further than he thought. He's more into it, right? Now, it's like water. He get up every day. He just walk, boom. And in the process of walking, drinking water, he's watching what he eats now. And then he's doing, and then all this other stuff is falling in line. We say, Wukusu, wake up, clean up, stand up. Wake up, shoo. What you doing ain't working. Wake up. It ain't working. The way we live, it ain't working. We can get on here and talk all these talk we want to talk. We can be all educated, but it ain't working as a people. So we need to wake up. We need to shoo. We need to admit that our way is not working. Let's find another way to imitate it. Let's shoo, imitate. Let's wake up. Let's go get knowledge over there. Right? And then let's ha. Let's break. Or we say clean up, K-U, right? Because we don't use C's. K-U, woo, cool. You at the cool stage now, where you are breaking all those trends over there. We're gonna, we got this over here. I'm doing right, but I don't like this. So we're gonna break all that and we're gonna try something else. And we're gonna flux it back and forth. And then you at the Su, the stand-up stage, the understanding, the re, where I'm doing this so much now, ain't no in the world I can stop. That's all I want for my people. I don't want to be no leader. I don't want to be I'm not no prophet. I'm not none of that. I'm just your brother. And I'm a concerned brother. And I'm a brother who has learned from my own mistakes, and I'm willing to come around and share them and share the wisdom I've gotten from them. And I search and study every day to put what I've learned into some kind of formation that I could teach it. so others can learn from it. This ain't no morale. This ain't no what a motivational speech. This ain't none of that. This is a roadmap that I'm telling you I'm doing, and it works. And I've cross-checked it to make sure, because ain't nothing new under the sun, right? So I found out where some of this stuff comes from, and I'm like, oh wow, let's go share it with my people. But in order for us to do it, family, we got to stop some of this. We can't drag this stuff with us. Throughout the early '90s into the 2000s, the movement for Black liberation fell off because we started bringing the street life into it. We started the things we're supposed to be getting away from. We dragged it with us because most of us were afraid to let it go because you didn't have anything else. And that we let fear defeat us. That's normal. We know what this is, so we drag that over here with us. When we should have just dropped it cold turkey and went over and shoot. We, and woo and knowledge. We should have went over and found a good examples and just rock with it. Even though it's uncomfortable, I refuse to be that over there. We didn't do that. Instead, we grabbed those negative ways, those downgrading ways, the pimpery, the thuggery, the thievery, the lying, the cheating, the stealing, the backstabbing, and we brought all that bullshit with us, and it destroyed us. And now our babies have been born into it, and they think it's normal. They think it's the only way. Now we got to go back for them. And it's going to be hard because they're going to fight, kick, scream, because they don't know no other way. But we have a duty to do it. You know what I mean? We don't do it for no desire. We do it for duty. You understand? And that's what we have to do, man. And in the process of that, we got to fight those three demons: doubt, addiction, and fear. Doubt telling you, you ain't going to do this. We can't do this. We not gonna do this. We not. And it hits me every once in a while. I bet, man, black people, fuck it. We ain't gonna get it again. That's doubt. That's that. And I gotta fight that demon back. Or the addiction, holding on to what we think works because we're addicted to it. And that's how we get to the point where we're not weak. I don't want to ever hear you say we're weak again. We are not a weak people. Weak people die. We would have been gone by now. We still here. We're not a weak people. But we're susceptible because we're addicted in our veins to this white supremacist way of thinking. And it seems normal. Yeah. So everything we touch, we pollute because we bring that dirt with us. I don't care if it's monogamy, polygamy, whatever the you want to get down with, you're not going to be able to do it in the right way as long as you got the mentality of the slave in you. As long as you got white supremacy in you, everything you touch, everything we do is going to fall. It's not going to work. And I'm not telling you to, I got nothing against spirituality, but this is not a God going to change it for you thing. No, this is the God and you got to change it. This is what this is. This is that inborn. You got to change that shit. You got to make it up. You can't sauce it up with the truth. You can't sauce good with dirt. Could I feed you good food in a dirty plate with dirty forks? Would you eat it? Can I give you clean water in a dirty glass full of mud? Would you drink it? No. So how are we trying to bring, this knowledge, this beautiful, pure thing in this rusty, dusty, bent up, dirty, muddy, sullied case that we call what? Style? Keeping it real? That's what we call it? No, we're polluting ourselves. So we got to perform, abstinence. Celibacy is not just sex, y'all. Celibacy also means, to separate from all things that are polluting. So we need to go celibate when it comes to white supremacy. When white supremacy come around, we got better now. We celibate. We fasting. We ain't with that. In anything I do, I ain't with that. You got to get up and clean your dishes every day. You got to get up and clean it up every day. Every day, every day, every day, every day until it's just natural. I'm telling you, I'm promising you, it will not work as long as we carry that negative. Oh, come on, Shaka, you said words are powerful. Now you say it ain't going to work. Yeah, I'm telling you, the words you're using are not going to get the result that we need. It's not going to add up. We got to change the words because then you change your mind. It's hard for you. Imagine a simple example, and I'm out of here. Old elder. There's a reason we don't say old. We say elders. Elders are revered. Old just means you've been around a long time. You just been here. So, an elder tells you something, man, that old dude don't know what he's talking about, F him. But it's hard to say, man, that elder don't know what he's talking about. It don't even fit, right? If I call you, yo, God, a god, call you king. I can't disrespect you. F that god, F that king, F that brother, F that sister. It don't sound right. So reason in the 60s and 70s, the language changed. There's a reason. I learned that when I was a kid in the Rastafari movement. I was in the Rastafari movement from the age of 13 to the age of 19. And I learned in there, the words were everything. Words sound power. Words carry sound. That sound carries power. Knowledge, wisdom, understanding, shoot, I just went through the whole thing. So change the words, man. Rastas don't even say appreciate. They say, no, appreciate love. How do you appreciate hate? I was like, wow, it's deep. They say upful, not helpful, upful. Hell. It starts with the word hell. So ain't nothing good about that. Scratch that, upful. They use words like up and down and substitute it with different words because of that. Downgrade. You know what I mean? They don't, words like that. Words are powerful. They say I and I, not you, not me, not we, not she, he, I and I, meaning that we're the same. And they say in the beginning there was only the I until separation came and produced the we. And from the we came the us and the them. And then they, and further away is in you, family. We got to be brave enough to do it. But y'all ain't going to do it unless people like me who have been through it come back and tell you what we've been through. Yep, I had it all. According to what they say, right? Everybody knew me. I was all over here, there. I got the women knocking at the door, dudes pat me on the back and all that nonsense. I'm speaking here, speaking there, my name ringing bells. I got a little semi-music career going on. I'm doing everything, right? I should be good. I wasn't good. I was in self-destruct mode, right? Because I was surrounded by a bunch of poison people. Not bad, but they were poison just like me. And neither of us could see our poison, so we just kept on swimming. And we kept on swimming because it felt good. Now, I'm sure there were people in the mix who understood what I'm saying right now and put those spells out there for us to follow. But I'm saying we're going to stop it now. All right? So, this is the longest I've done yet. I had to get it all out. Again, this Wednesday, I will be on the Vocal Dialect Show. It's a podcast. I'll be there this Wednesday, and I'm giving you the right time right now. Yeah, it says Vocal Dialect Show. I believe it's like 9 o'clock Eastern, something like that. You know what I mean? But check it out. Go to my Facebook page, The Bush Doctor, and it's on there. The time and everything. Don't quote me. I think it's like 8, 9 o'clock. I'm not sure. But Vocal Dialect, they in ATL, holding it down. Love you all. Love you all to life. Not to death, to life. See, starting them words already. All right? So we're cool. So wake up, clean up, stand up, y'all. And these shows, like I said, we're going to fluctuate back and forth. From politics to parlor tricks. We're going to tell it all. And I love the whole diaspora. I even love them FBA dudes. You know what I mean? And those I want to be Indians and all. They still are people. You know what I mean? We ain't going to just throw them out. My mother used to say, sometimes in life, you have to take a family member and you put them out of the room, but try never to kick them out the house. Let's not do that to them. You know what I mean? Some of them are just they're looking for answers like the rest of us, man. And we might not agree with them strongly. I disagree with a lot of that strongly. And they might become upset with me, but I'm not going to get that energy back to them because we still need them. It's like we need every black person. Now, some of y'all kind of question. We'll get into that one later. But most of you we need. Most of us are savable. Some have gone too far over or moved in a way that we can't really rock with you. But I'm keeping it real. But a vast majority still ability. So let's love each other, meaning lift our vibration or vision eternally or every day. That's love, when you lifting each other up. So a person says they love you and they're not lifting you to a better place, they like you. They don't love you. And remember, self is the spiritually enlightened life force. It's the thing that lives in all of us. The Ashe, it lives in all of us. The Chi, if you will. The Ashe, And for you starhead cats, that's where the whole force thing comes from. But that's the energy that goes through everybody. So there's no individuals in nothing. Nothing in science is an individual phenomena. Everything is a compound of another thing, down to the atom. You do the science for yourself. All right, I'm out. And always, if you like this, comment, subscribe, hit the like button, the notification button, and all them other things, and da. So I think it should be right here, right here. Boop, see that? Go there, do that. At DA_Bush Doctor. That's the YouTube channel, and pretty much all my channels are YouTube. Or the Bush Doctor. So YouTube. I'm on Instagram. I do X now and then, and of course TikTok. All right. Till next time. Wakusu.